Welcome to the Purpose for Life Wisdom Drop, the first of every month. We are on the second episode of Wisdom Drop. I have my co-pilot here with me, Monu Singh. I am Suzanne Roberts, the author of It's Deeper Than That and the founder of the Great Reconnection. And we are pulling once a month from the Great Reconnection Wisdom Deck. And today the card Monu and I are going to be exploring, and we hope you all explore with us, is this card. And I will read it to you in just a moment, but it's beautiful. And Raid and Tapia did the graphics for it or discovered them. So our card today, Monu, is you are designed to know and become your unapologetic radiance. I'm going to read that again for our listeners. You are designed to know and become your unapologetic radiance. And let's see what the back invites us into. You are invited to know the deeper purpose for your life, becoming conscious that you are truly your soul. The light and power are already within. As you know yourself more deeply, that brightness shines through every part of your body, every part of your being and life. I guess it would be your body too. It is time to relinquish the ways you diminish yourself and step fully unapologetically into the radiance of who you truly are. I actually really love this card for a couple of reasons, because it talks about that we're designed for something rather than we have to create the design. So we're designed to return and remember and reconnect to the very power that gives us life. And here it says that we have a deeper purpose, and that is to become conscious that who we are is truly a soul, or a soul consciousness, or a soul currency that is a drop of that eternal ocean of love, or that source of life that gives life to all of creation. And because the soul currency animates our body, it lets our heart beat, it lets us breathe, and it conducts through two poles. So there's a current or a currency running inside of us, that there is already light and power inside of us. It's already been given to us to live. And it's at the center of our being. And when we can turn our attention towards the power that's giving us life, we slowly can get to know it more deeply. We are on a journey of knowing more deeply the power that's inside, in allowing space for it to radiate more fully. And this soul current is bright, and it does shine through our being and our life when we can get out of the way more. And so one of the things this card is I'm going to call it wisdom, not a card. This wisdom jewel is inviting us into, is to look at what are the ways that we dull down our own radiance, or what are the ways that we diminish the power that's inside of us. And it's inviting us to step fully and unapologetically into the radiant power and gift of life in our own unique way that we truly are. And it takes a lot of determination and dedication to explore our own inner laboratory, and to be willing to pause and take a moment and become familiar with this power that's giving us life, and to make room for it. And we have so many different ways we dampen it. I have dampened it because I'm an intense person with an intense energy, and people say that I'm intense, and I can either celebrate my intensity or I can go, I am too much. I have to dull down my intensity because my intensity makes other people uncomfortable. Or I'm a truth teller. People go, "You're nice." I go, I don't know that I'm that nice. I do tell the truth. And if I see something that's really captivating for me inside of you, I will say what I see. Some people call that nice, but I call it just truth telling. And so, what I have to negotiate inside myself is that my intensity is my gift. My intensity is my superpower. And I have spent a lot of time cultivating in the depth of myself, which means I have a lot of potency and a lot of intensity. And to notice places where I might walk in and go, oh, I think I'm too much for this room. And I'll do it right now. I just kind of damp down a little bit. And and then the light goes out of the room a little bit. But it's and then it's up to me to choose to go, my intensity is my superpower, and I'm going to risk in this moment, because I think it is a risk. It's a courageous risk and a choice to say, I am going to allow this intensity and the potency that lives inside of me to be here. And I'm going to watch and see if something bad happens instead of assuming something bad is going to happen or I'm too much or whatever. So, well, first of all, I saw you do see something when I damped it down, and I'd be curious what happened for you when you saw me damp it down. And then I'd love to hear from you um, what you think about being designed that way and how you might damp it down and not be unapologetic. So do both.
Okay, so when you dampen down your own radiance, I felt like I felt less of you, and inside me it evoked this feeling of like, oh wait, where are you going? Like, come
Mhm.
back, like you're necessary here, you're needed here, and it was palpable, it was, and it felt like a loss. And it just reminded me too of, the things that we've spoken about on the podcast and certainly in classes that you've led, Suzanne, but when we talk about how everybody is needed, in their own unique design, they're necessary for the health of the collective system. So it felt like a loss to me when even for that split second, I felt like, oh, wait, come back, you know. Um,
What
yeah, oh, were you going to say
I
something?
was just gonna say,
Uh,
that's what I saw in you, because I was looking at you and you went, "Where'd you where'd you"
right. I
you
was
would
like, where'd you
literally
go?
had it. You did that. I was like, "Oh." But it really happened in real time, so
Absolutely. And I think too that it was really informative for me because, I am, and, our listeners may know too, because I talk about this, like I'm in practice around all of these, principles and these ideas. I'm in the work, very deep
yeah.
in the work, along with, everyone else who's listening. And so it was really useful for me to feel that and feel what it felt like to be on the other side of
Mm.
when somebody leaves because, you know, there have been many, many, many occasions when you have said, I can't feel you, or you were here and then I felt you leave. And now, and you're like, you're necessary. And now I have that felt experience of what that's
Mm.
like, what you might be experiencing on the other end. And I can see like, oh yes, I I am and I need to be here in my radiance because that's necessary for the health of that's necessary for me to feel my aliveness and the expression of that aliveness fully. And that's necessary for the system, for the health of the collective system. And the other thing that I was thinking about when you were reading the card and talking, and you touched on it, is like this takes courage, you know?
Mhm.
It's not about like just feeling good about myself and, like um it it takes courage to really be fully in your aliveness and in your radiance in a world that may have told you that it doesn't want you,
Mhm.
in that.
Yeah.
And it requires, yeah, dedicated, consistent work inside to kind of practice, get accustomed to what it feels like, and develop the muscle, of being able to be present to yourself in the way that you were designed.
When I'm listening to you, Monu, it it is evoking in me that it is an accountability. Nobody else is going to do it for you.
Yep.
And it does take courage and dedication. And I think everyone has to decide if I do want to know my deeper self. Do I want to become aware of the gift that's been given to me, which is this radiant current or life energy or whatever you want to call it? It is a powerful current of non-personal love. It
Mhm.
is for us to become familiar with and discover and understand and have it help guide us. And what are some of the ways that you diminish yourself? And then how do you hold yourself accountable?
There are a lot of ways probably that I diminish myself. Like I will sort of disassociate, like energetically leave the situation or an environment that I'm in. I will listen to the stories that my mind tells me. Some of them are similar to the ones you said, like, oh, I'm too much for this crowd, like I'm too intense. A lot of it is like making other people feel comfortable. And,
Mm.
and I think that it's really important to start to notice that it's actually, is that true? Just to ask, like, is that actually true? Are people actually uncomfortable if I'm more fully in myself? And if they are, what is more important to me? You know, to sacrifice my life for someone else's comfort or to live in the truth of who I am. And for me, it's to live in the truth of who I am. And I think that goes to like the second part of your question is, what keeps me anchored to this exploration and to this deepening?
Mm.
And it's just that, it's that there is a way that I know I have been made and I can experience greater liberation inside myself and in this lifetime if I continue to deepen into that aliveness. That's more important to me than anything, you know? I think that's what keeps bringing me back, despite the sort of, sometimes it feels like one step forward, two steps back, but despite the kind of trepidation I might feel or the discomfort around the intensity of it or the things that my mind says, um, I keep returning because I want to taste that freedom.
When I went to write the book, I wrote the book because I wanted people to know that there's a pathway to their radiant power, to their liberation, to knowing uh, through their stillness a vibrant energy that's been given to us. And we deserve to know the treasure that's inside of us that's giving us life because we are going to leave this body one day
Mhm.
with the very gift of this energy. And why wait till the end of life to know your own treasure when your treasure is here giving to you all the time?
Amen.
Yes, exactly. So, on that note, thank you for joining my co pilot because we like to journey and take adventure together. That's why it's a co pilot, because exploring this life inside of us is the greatest adventure of all. And you are a co pilot on this journey. So, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you all for listening today to Wisdom Drop, the first of the month. This is week 2. And please subscribe to the Purpose for Life podcast. And I hope that you take this month to explore for yourself what is your hunger to understand the design of how you've made to know your own radiance inside, and to explore how do you diminish it and how do you become unapologetic about it. And let us know your explorations, and we love having you here with us. And until next time, thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Suzanne Roberts, and my co-pilot, Monu Singh, and we'll see you next time.